I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Great. That is me in order. Roll call, please. Councilwoman Biancardi. Here. Councilwoman Boats. Here. Councilwoman Loving.
Here.
Councilwoman McCart. Here. Councilwoman Scott.
And she'll be party just a little bit. Approval of minutes for November 8th, 2023, the executive meeting.
So
Second, discussion. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Biancardi.
Yeah.
Councilwoman Bozak.
Yes.
Councilman Loving.
yes.
Councilwoman McCart.
Yes. Approval of November 8th, 2023 meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Bozak.
Yes.
Councilman Loving.
Yes.
Councilwoman Biancardi.
Yes.
Councilwoman McCart.
Yes. All right, we have a public hearing.
Oh, that's good.
No,
No.
I expected Angie to. She
All right.
loves reading.
No question for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so opening the public hearing.
All right. For public hearing ordinance 321-2023, an ordinance amending the Burns Harbor stormwater management ordinance.
Anybody? Sorry, I was distracting.
Comments
for, comments again?
Tony, that's the one, I don't know if you wanted to explain, that's the one with the fees.
Oh, yeah, so this is really making an amendment to the stormwater management ordinance that we previously adopted. One thing that we included on the form, which we can, is a fee, but because it's a fee, we had to incorporate it into the ordinance, so. This is just the process to get that there.
Comments for? And comments against? All right, close public hearing.
Motion to adopt.
Second. Discussion. Roll call, please.
Councilman Loving.
Yes.
Councilwoman Scott.
Yes.
Councilwoman Biancardi.
Yes.
Councilwoman Bozak.
Yes.
Councilwoman McCart.
Yes. All right, reports. Jane, do you have anything?
Nicole began last Wednesday. Most of you may know her from Plan Commission or your neighborhood. She is a Burns Harbor resident. Today she attended newly elected official training at Fair Oaks with, Bren. It's, a new law that Bren must attend. Since she is a new clerk treasurer, she has to attend at least 5 hours of training before she takes office. So she and Nicole traveled together to that. So she'll be back tomorrow. Things are going well, I believe. She is returning day after day, so I think that's nice. And I think everything else I have is on the agenda somewhere else.
Council members. Marcia, Nick, Angie.
I have two, Jane, just wanted to bring to your attention, there's two quotes here from the fire department, I spoke with them. They're fresh, so he does not have invoices yet. I should have saw these.
Okay.
That's all.
I want to talk about, I've been working with Debbie Lightfoot about the Cronin's Landing Park. And I'd like to make a motion that the town of Burns Harbor accept from RV Developers of Northwest Indiana LLC the donation of the property known as Outlaw A in Cronin's Landing Phase 2, in addition to the town of Burns Harbor's plat thereof recorded in plat file 51-F-1A in the Office of the Recorder for County, Indiana, as well as a donation check in the amount of $15,000, and that we consider this matter closed with RV Developers of Northwest Indiana LLC having no further responsibilities or obligations as it relates to the park in Cronin's Landing, and to authorize Attorney Catton to file a deed.
Can I speak?
Yeah,
Oh, no.
second.
Discussion.
I was Nick. So would you recommend that Nick disclose something?
As of last week, I divested my interest in Cortland's Landing to my sister so that I could do what we needed to do tonight. So I have no conflict.
So I apologize, I didn't realize. I'm used to you saying you have one.
What, so I got, it's been a while, so what about the rest of the, like, what is, I guess, has always been referred to as the agreement in terms, so the 15,000 is a huge part of it, because that'll help put something in, but I think, like, the other things like clearing, I think clearing the.
I have this right here, do you want to see this?
I guess I just am asking about the rest of that, because if we approve this tonight, that means free and clear, and nothing else is required, right? I'm just asking.
The original list was submitted and never acted on. So it was retracted. And the new offer is what's on the table now.
Has the park had a chance to know about this? Oh, nope. Okay.
This is the first I heard about new. Or adjustment.
The council 20 years ago failed to act on.
07.
Yeah.
I actually.
Yes.
Memorandum.
Yeah.
What, so I guess what from that then, like, I guess, what was the park expecting that now they're not? Cause I feel like it's always been their understanding that there was gonna be more to it. So I guess what responsibility now is rolling over to them with this?
The original memorandum contained the 20 lot parking and nobody wants.
The neighborhood wants a parking lot there. They don't want people driving there to their neighborhood.
I think it's more of the clearing,
Yes.
the money that's being offered is not enough money to cover the clearing, so.
It hasn't been cleared at all? It's just a big lot?
It's mowed and the trees that are down are the ones that the residents wanted down. So I walked it with them last spring early. And we kind of called out the areas that we wanted to keep the trees and the ones that we wanted down.
And you walk that with who?
Oh, there were like 6 residents, all of them were phase 2 residents in Cortland's.
I understand the parking from people's perspectives. I mean, it's still gonna be a public park, but I understand the parking, I guess, if it's not cleared.
You don't,
The money-
you don't need it all cleared to have a park there either.
But are there trees like laying on the lot, like that will need to be
Yeah,
cleaned
they're
up?
still down.
Yeah, so the money that's being given is probably gonna be spent for that, so then there's not gonna be anything left to like do something with the lot. Right? I'm just saying. I don't know. I don't know what it would cost to do that, please.
So can we have the trees that he's cut down or that have been cut down, can you have them removed?
Yeah.
This,
Yeah, we can do that. We'll have to ask, can't say anymore.
Mhm.
I don't have to.
I mean, I-
Any state.
Right, because what, I mean, the 15,000, I think, was always to be able to invest back into that and make it
Yeah.
something, but. I feel like that what would happen is it would be turned around to clean those trees up, and then there wouldn't be.
like, I appreciate the fact that they're cut down, but to actually physically remove them off the property.
Or get them cut off and.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody will come get it.
I mean, yeah, I mean, potentially, if it's put out there, then it is. So the parking lot clearing. Was that the only other expectation that
Let me pull it up.
grade and see? Areas to start. And you said it's been mowed, I mean, it's been some time, so with grading and seeding, it's probably.
It was mowed day before yesterday. And it's graded, it's fine.
So would you have to go back to someone to ask about clearing the trees that are down?
I can just tell them that that's what the council wanted. We'll do it.
Feel like, I feel like the action needs to be taken because we're here at this point now, but I also don't want a burden to be left, you know, on the park. Again, we'll get the money, the residents will know that they have the money, they'll expect it to be put in some fashion that they can physically see. But I can see that it could then be used to remove the trees. I don't know, Kyla, what do you think? You're the park board president.
Yes, I think this was a conversation that we should have had at the park to discuss our concerns along with your concerns and wanting to go forward with this tonight. So that, I mean, we have a lot of questions.
Are you guys willing to meet with the park board? And then bring it back to the next meeting?
No,
I mean, it concerns the park, so therefore, you know, it'd be great to go over all of these different, you know, things that were on the list,
Well, I mean,
the punch list.
well, yeah, and there were 4 things, the 20 parking lot,
Yeah,
the money, which you have the check,
right,
clearing the lot, and then grading and seeding, which obviously there's grass on the lot now because it's been
Right.
so long.
right.
Is our parking spot something that the park's still interested in?
Well, I mean, it is a public park.
Yeah, but there's not one over. There's no parking spots in the other parks. Triangle Park doesn't have one, the one over in, the other one doesn't have one.
Yeah.
Bollinger,
Yeah, they're neighborhoods. You don't want a parking lot in a neighborhood.
Is there room for on-street parking?
I think they'd be the
I
only.
think, I don't think that the parking is the
I think
major
they
part of
do.
it.
I would
They have
agree
the
with that, I
ground.
think it's the clearing, so that
Yeah.
that money could be invested.
Ready,
into the-
yeah, ready for the park to be able to do something on it, not for the park to invest in making it able to put something on. Like the park doesn't have the budget for that, and the 15,000 is not, I don't think, and I don't know what it looks like back there with the trees down, but just in looking at bills from RDC projects with trees coming down, I don't know that 15,000 is gonna go very far. I don't know.
I agree.
So is this something that can be accepted contingent, like clearing, or is it, I
good question. When you say clearing, do you mean cut more trees down?
no, I'm saying if there's trees that are down, that those are removed. So like if there is. Yeah, I guess if trees have been cut, then removing those, because that would be a cost that the park would have to.
And the park would have to look and see, like, where, are there other trees, are they in the way, is there the ability?
I mean, I think at this point that it needs to move forward. And saying this tree or that tree, I mean, eventually whatever the property is, the park will have to assess it and decide how to, you know, deal with it later, like it would be at any other property.
So counter offer contingent upon removing the down trees.
Cause I mean, I'll personally guarantee that I'll have a big. I'll get something again.
So then,
That's fine. I can agree to that, because I'll take care of it even if my parents don't want to.
So does that mean then that Jane would hold the check, or, I mean, I'm just asking, would she hold the check and like not file the deed? Do you know what I'm saying, or how would we do and say the trees are cleared by December 31st? I'm just asking if that's the case, what?
I think the motion would, and second would need to be amended if you're conditioning all of this. That the town not negotiate the donation and not direct. I suppose if this document's already been signed, the developer could report it, but if it's being handed over to the town and you're direct, you need to report it.
Is that what?
Direct,
We
and not to
need to-
report it.
That is
until-
what's,
It is it signed?
it's signed.
Yeah, I mean, if
So now it needs to be recorded.
no, it need to be recorded. To dedicate it to the town. Or have it deeded to the town, so you could. Not report it or not direct me to report it until after, these conditions have been met.
And I haven't been out there either to know, I just, again, wouldn't want to accept something like that, or, we have to. Use.
I have not.
And I guess one thing to keep in mind is. And correct me if I'm wrong, I think it needs to be recorded by December 31st to get it in the town's name, otherwise if it's in. R&B Development of Northwest Indiana,
We have to do this, we come get the trees before New Year's.
I know what I'm getting at, Nick, is I need to record it by Friday, December 29th.
Right.
Because the 31st is Sunday. That day. Otherwise, if it's still in. The business entity's name, it's gonna be. For property tax purposes, it would be taxed for
Right.
24, page 25.
Right.
Because it's already gonna be taxed. For 23, page 24. And I know Jane and I have dealt with this before with the county auditor, like try to get property that's now in the town's name off of the tax rolls. So we don't have to pay property taxes, and I'm just, I guess, thinking out loud about how the timing may affect. This property, and it's 3 acres, it's not a great, and it's undeveloped, so it's not a great deal of property tax, but it's something.
We've got somebody telling me that's gonna go with the trees. Can we just accept it the way it's proposed and then? they're
I think
clear?
that, again, the motion and the second needs to be amended and then continue discussion and then. We have at least 3 ayes.
I'm saying, don't make another motion, I'm saying. Can we do it this way, we've got somebody that's gonna come get them. So. It should be good the way that it is.
What, I mean, you're here for the park tonight,
Right.
if it's no parking and the trees are cleared. 15,000 in the tree and grove park.
If I would have known beforehand, I would have, an answer, or I would feel better about my answer, I should say, but I don't. I haven't been over there, I haven't looked at it, so I'm not sure. I need to talk to the board.
But if we don't do it before the 31st,
Yeah.
No discussion.
I just wish going forward that if we do have big things like this to discuss, that, you know, coming to the meeting, discussing beforehand with the park, we could have had an answer tonight. And we would have been all on board. So that's my only wish, to work together, so.
And I guess I would feel more comfortable if we amended the motion to include that it's gonna be clear. I just feel like that's a guarantee from the park.
Okay, and I'd like to amend my motion that the trees will be cleared, the downed trees will be cleared by December 31st, 2022.
Well, December
The 29th.
29th, so that we can find.
December 29th, 2020.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Scott.
Yes.
Councilwoman Dean Carty.
Yes.
Councilwoman Bozak.
No.
Councilor Loving.
Yes.
Councilwoman McCart.
No. Right,
Just request if you're giving me the deed, if I can get some confirmation. And I don't know who the condition has been met, so I can record it. I'll be in the office all next week, out with the office closed on the 25th and 26th, out of town on the 27th. Back on the 28th, so I can record it the 28th or 29th. I prefer not to wait until the end of the day on the 29th. That's Friday.
The recorder's office stops recording earlier than their office closes too.
Yeah.
So
So sooner we can get that condition met, the sooner I can be informed. Then we might afford that.
anything else from the council, have anything? All right, Slade, do you have anything for us?
I spoke with Chandler, we can send another email to the village from. People's list, lots of redevelopment, we're just again. Back and forth on the legal, they had questions on the legal.
Do we have the engineer on?
No.
No, okay. All right. Chuck. Your turn.
Yeah, other than the things listed on the November building report, we have ground preparation and tree removal at the new CIT trucking site. No word on when the construction will actually start. Ferguson's Auto is nearing completion. Luke Oil storage unit's permit is close to being released, I suspect next week. A new business determination form was dropped off to Eclipse Charters, 396 Melton. Storage containers have been removed from property of Melton Road. And I responded to a complaint of a section of sidewalk that was missing at 205 Piper Drive, Corin's Landing. I called the owner up and left message. That's the end of my report.
Brendan.
How's it going, guys? Everybody, I want to say, thank you for being a council, being part of the council. I know this is your last meeting for some of you. And I just want to say thank you, guys. Leaf pickup has ended successfully, we're done, another year down. All our plows, everything's ready to go, our last truck just got fixed. So we're ready for anything.
Say that.
I believe.
There's always a lot thrown in there somewhere.
We're ready to rock.
All right, when you call, I'm gonna tell you, you should have been ready.
I submitted a quote. For some garage doors, I don't know if you guys see that, it's our garage door number one have failed, I got it working temporarily for now, but, I contacted Higgins Garage Door. And they said they don't make any parts for any of our doors anymore, that it's obsolete. He said it's pretty important to get them fixed. I had gotten a quote for just the one and all of them, seeing as we can find the money to do that. The doors only have a lifetime, like, they can only open it so many times. And I think they're the original doors from when the building was built. It's just kind of important because we use them every day, they're up and down every day.
So how many doors altogether?
There are 7 doors.
So you have 2 quotes, one is for all 7 and one is for one.
Correct. Yeah.
So if the all 7 would include that.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, and however way we go with that, that's why I got the quote for the broken door for now.
Are all the doors that are in there, are they like the same age, like as far as you
As
know?
far as I know, they all have the same setups.
They're all original?
Yeah, they're all original, none of the parts are accessible,
Okay,
so when the door goes down, it's down.
Okay. I just didn't know if there were any that were.
Vintage, yes.
Okay.
Yes. I am interviewing another part-time plow driver tomorrow, he's a retired guy, got some knowledge with the Valparaiso utilities. Because we had to let go of a sanitation guy not too long ago, he was gonna help, but you know, things happen for reasons, so looking to get some extra help. And again, I just wanna ask the council, are we plowing the bike trail this year?
Do you guys have, I mean, I don't obviously don't want big trucks.
I am actually gonna go look at some side by side for some quotes. I don't know how that's gonna work down the line in the future, but like I said.
Did you talk with Portage, what are they doing on
Portage
their
will not
side?
be-
They're not.
So
And-
when we end by the benches, it will not be plowed, and National Lake Shore won't plow either.
Okay.
Oh, well.
Huh?
Why are we?
That's why you're asking.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying they're not.
So-
Everything.
I mean, until we get something else
As of now,
feasible to do the
something,
job.
yeah, if something changes.
Yeah, cause I mean, we have the trucks, but there's no turning around, there's,
It'll tear that up eventually, I think.
yeah. You know, so,
Gordon will be devastated.
it's cross country.
Bucks that are good,
Hey, you know what? You could advertise it cross country ski it.
Because I think
Yeah,
some
for real.
people do that on the other side, they
We might not get a lot of snow.
Do we have?
Right.
It was like, don't jinx it, don't jinx it. Can we put, markers along the trail, like markers as in like, you know how you have them out in the
Like
front?
snow markers?
Yeah, so that way, if they decide to go snowshoeing,
people can,
they can tell when they're
Off the trail.
trail versus on the trail. I mean, it's pretty obvious when you're in the woods, but
we could probably, that was the problem.
you know, it doesn't have to be too many of them, but just enough so that you can see that you're staying on.
Right, yeah, that shouldn't be a problem.
If we're not gonna plow, that would probably.
If you wanna do, you try it,
Okay,
yeah, absolutely.
okay.
So. No plowing, just kind of let it go, maybe advertise a little
Yeah.
more ideas, you know?
If they're, you know.
I would say keep it, you know, keep in contact with us if you're, you know, if it snows and you're seeing that people are trying to go back there. You know, let us know if someone's gonna go pull somebody out of there on their bike or something weird. You never know.
Yeah.
Kids do crazy things.
Exactly. Exactly.
As far as that, we're basically just ready for snow.
You just keep throwing that out there. That's where, I know. Do you have,
It's coming.
do you have an exact quote for all of the doors? That it's, is it?
It's the.
It's in there.
Well, I'm sorry, I just saw you noted he'll have more information, so I didn't know if the 50 was the top.
Oh, you were gonna ask them about whether those quotes included the remotes and all that other stuff.
Yeah, everything's included,
Okay.
well, new openers, all. Actual openers, all the, everything from top to bottom, that's
And the big quote includes every single door.
everything, all doors, openers, everything, all new.
I feel like with the information Jane provided that there's money that we appropriated that's not earmarked, I feel like replacing all of the doors would be a good use of that. I'd make a motion to use CCD funds to replace and install the 7 new garage doors.
Second. Discussion?
Roll call please.
Councilman Loving,
Yes.
Councilwoman Scott,
Yes.
Councilwoman Biancardi.
Yes.
Councilwoman Bozak.
Yes.
Councilwoman McCarthy.
Yes.
Thank you. First read. That's all I got.
All right. Thanks for moving the sign around. We're probably gonna be having to do that a lot.
Hey, that's what I'm there for. It's a good use for.
Go out these good spots. That's great.
It's a good use for.
Yeah, use it. for
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, anybody else in the audience, you think of something, hey, we should put that on the.
Certain areas that kind of decide which way traffic, because it's hard to see. You know.
Yeah, or if you guys see the sign out somewhere, like, a better spot for that would be
Yeah, you
here.
guys drive by and be like, hey, I can't go see that. You know,
Yeah, we're always like, I don't know, what look good here, what about here?
In the future, if you're going to use some property of your family.
Mhm.
And you're having to be complicated.
upgrade.
Okay.
I know there's
I just
but
You're
I'm
okay.
gonna use 4x4 just to. There's nothing to pour up, it's just a little bit. Huge. Okay.
It's a good spot. I vote anyway, so it's fine.
Not get a food drive, it might be something else. Okay. Well, I can't remember the end of that.
Before it snows again. You might want to mark the spot that you guys filled on Piper.
I see that as,
It's stinking again, it's gonna catch, so you might, if you're not gonna repair it until spring, which is what it is, that's fine, you may want to.
we did our best to do it, and then we had no idea if it was gonna continue or not.
It just sank, the same way that it did before,
Yeah, I don't-
you guys were in it for 2 hours.
Yeah, there was nothing impeding the storm water, I don't know, so.
Cause I know we marked we used to, when I plowed it, we used to mark the manhole covers.
I marked all the manhole covers. The last 3 years I've done it, you see little blue reflectors, yeah, it's the best idea I can come up with.
All you have?
So that's it.
All right, you've spent enough money. I'm gonna go on to Jeremy's, I'm sure.
Oh, here we go.
We were busier than we would like to be. We had a couple significant incidents. We had Officer Jacquez ended up getting in a traffic pursuit with suspects that had been involved in thefts from tractor trailers that began at the Pilot. It ended in Winfield, where we took 2 people into custody there. We had a shooting that occurred at Route 12 and State Road 149. Those suspects also were apprehended and taken into custody. They just shot into a occupied motor vehicle during a road rage incident. We did receive a donation to the amount of $2,940, and that was in reference to last year's Back the Blue event, which occurred last May. So we got that check and that's deposited now. Other than that, we had a couple other significant incidents. We had one subject that got charged with multiple felonies for battery by bodily waste on 2 of our officers as well as a jail officer. And a total of 7 arrests. So it was busy for us. So. Beyond that, I don't know when you guys want to talk about purchase orders, whether you want to talk about them now or you want to talk about them later.
Talk about Brandon, what?
Okay.
Right away.
So I have a few on the table. The first one on a 2024 PI utility, an order window opened up that had previously closed. It closed on November 8th and it reopened on December 5th. Ford has a limited production availability for the 24 models. They're only going to be produced next year in January and February. So we can either order a car or we can't. So I guess originally I was approved, I believe it was during the budget meetings, in the range of 36,000 to 47,000. The car came in at 47,606 as the total to buy it. So I'm looking for approval for that. There's a couple other items on my wish list. One was to finish updating all of our desks in the office.
let's do the car. Before you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So make a motion to.
Are you
increase-
gonna, will you trade something in? Will you auction something off?
So the 2015 Ford PI utility that we currently have, that car will go away. The car was originally bought out of the general fund. So depending on how you guys did it, either way, that money, if you guys decide that you want to auction it, then that money would go back into the general fund. If we trade it in, then I assume that just comes off this purchase price. But the issue is when it would happen, and for me to get a estimated value now, and if the car is not here till March, April, May, June, I don't know what the value change is gonna be. It would definitely take the amount under the 47, but
Jane, do you have a preference of like an auction to put the money back in general or trade it to get it off the car? It doesn't matter.
I think it's up to whatever the council would do. Our sealed bids are pretty successful, but I don't know if they ever come in at what they would get as a trade-in, but I guess it just depends on the circumstance, whatever you guys as a council decides to do.
So what you're asking for tonight though is really the approval to go ahead and order the car, but then the purchase order is gonna come, the money's gonna come next year from the budget, right?
Probably.
Yeah, so I guess whether you auction or trade would probably be the next council's decision. Because like you said, it could be months, so you'd have to wait for the trade-in.
right.
So yeah, we just voted to authorize it, we'll just say 48,000.
Second. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Biancardi?
Yes.
Councilwoman Bozak?
Yes.
Councilman Loving?
Yes,
Councilwoman Scott?
Yes.
Councilwoman McCart?
Abstain. His other request, well, let's see, he's got a couple and then you have a computer on there too, right? GM building,
They have a computer, but they have the money to pay for it.
Okay.
I think some of Jeremy's were,
yeah, requesting,
Mhm.
so we spent. Well, 50 of the 75 and. Jeremy's would come up to about like 13. So I would make a motion to make the rest of his purchases with CCD.
second,
Discussion? Roll call please.
Councilwoman Bozak?
Yes.
Councilman Loving?
yes,
Councilwoman Scott?
Yes.
Councilwoman Biancardi?
Yes.
Councilwoman McCart?
Abstain.
That's all I got.
Well.
Thank you.
Bill.
Good,
What do you want?
just getting ready to shop with the firefighter. We got 2 families again this year, so thanks to everybody for the donations again. It's gonna be making another successful Christmas surprise for a couple families. Other than that, it's maintaining and going. I did have 2 that I didn't realize I was out of purchase orders and didn't make it over here to see Jane to get them, so that's what Jane, so I apologize for that. That was for the firefighter appreciation gifts is every year, and then also we had a charger bank that I asked to charge our portable radios, so that was kind of important. So I was gonna hold off till we got some purchase orders that needed to get in, so that was that I had given to Nick. Other than that, that's what we got going.
You're good with the 2 families that you found? Do you have room for anything else?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we could definitely squeeze another couple children in if we had them. We had another family, but they dropped out due to personal reasons.
Okay.
So with the short notice, I put out a outreach. Some of you saw it, but we didn't get any feedback, so.
Okay.
But we are shopping Saturday, so we are getting down to the wire, so.
So we can still make a donation, a gift card.
Yeah, any donations will go to these families that we
Okay.
have.
Having 2 families as opposed to 3, are you able to do more for them then?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, everything goes off to them, so. Just because we had 3 families, but personal reasons, they're trying. We still got plenty of kids, so we got 3 kids that will have a very nice Christmas.
All right, sanitation, stormwater.
Guess that's me.
Right.
We went through all the lift stations, we pulled all the pumps, checked them, cleaned them, so the pump inventories have all been updated. Eagle Services were just out here and cleaned all 6 stations, they cleaned out all the air releases, they were out here on the 7th and 8th. They had to be done before we started the calibration process, that starts on December 18th by Gas Voda. They will be starting with stations 1, 2, and 5. We recently had a couple of emergency call outs. One was the number 2 heater block. It has been repaired temporarily. We're just waiting on parts to finish that. It overheated, fried wire. But there's no concern on that. And then the other one was on number 3, which is over by the park. Had a pump fail alarm that went off, and that was due to low oil in the pump oiler. That was repaired and fixed. All stations are good and operating accordingly. And that is the update I have in sandwich.
Low oil, is that something we are supposed to check? Or is that just kind of like?
The station I do believe that has an oiler still on it. It's still new to me.
Yeah.
We had John from Superior come out and take care of it. Oil's filled up, we're supposed to keep an eye on it to make sure it's not an internal problem.
Okay.
So that's the update I can give.
And then do you know what parts will be in for?
I do not know, Adam knows all that information.
Okay.
I don't even know if he knows yet, but I guess we're waiting for it.
Okay.
So.
I have a question. Have we followed up on the car wash at Nissan? Where are we at with that situation? And I don't know if Chuck I don't know who's handling that.
I don't have anything on that right now. I think Adam was the one who checked all the car washes, all the dealerships. And that's all I know for, I don't know who has to take charge in that, who has the authority.
So that would. Chuck, can you go to Nissan and see if they're operating a car wash out of there?
Sure.
I had Lori pull like their building from back in the day, but this is also something that was talked about. I forgot where the notes are, but I have previous notes where it's been talked about in the sanitation meetings of this car wash operation. I think it was last year, maybe. It was in meeting notes. So can you see if they're functioning a car wash?
Okay, let's say that they are. You want me to notify them that they should shut their operation down?
Yes.
Okay, all right, no problem.
So as the previous sanitation commissioner,
No, please.
I like
I can tell you that. And Tony will recall it, we actually went in there and actually shut that car wash down, and that's probably the letter you're referring to.
Mhm.
We were very stern with them that it cannot operate since it's against our operation agreement. So they're well aware of it. So they opened it back up, and they're not knowing, because switching on management, and maybe need to be re-educated on it. However, if it's a violation of our operation agreement,
Maybe giving Chuck that original letter, well, even though they're a new owner, giving them that letter to say.
I think Lori has, she sent it to me.
Yeah, but if he goes on site and they're operating.
They can
he
hand it to
say,
them, yeah.
Here's, you know, it was told.
Yeah, I believe that
Obviously, it's
Chuck
been
is
real.
on there.
and there is steps if they want to
He is on the
pursue.
email.
And it says that in the letter, there is steps that they could take to approach the sanitary board. And it's gonna involve a meeting with Cleveland Cliffs and the board to come up with the things that have to be met in order to operate that. So it's not a can't, it's a things that have to be done if you want to continue it, but it should cease until those criteria can be met.
No problem.
Can you email Rosanna and I an update on when you meet with them or go in
Yeah,
there?
sure, I'll stop
What do you
and
find out?
ask him to wash my car.
No, they And.
Yes. I really don't have too much. The first draft of the 5-year master plan was submitted in November, and we'll update you when we hear back from them. There's only one person looking over every master plan for the state, so it's gonna take a little bit. So it's kind of February, maybe or something. And then we're continuing to rent the arts and crafts building throughout the winter months. And upkeep in the park. That's it.
And I got new lights on the gazebo. That looks nice.
Yes, gorgeous. That's it, that's all I have.
Thank you. Already seen.
Oh, RDC is doing awesome. So RDC was, with the town of Burns Harbor was awarded the Safe Streets and Roads for All grant in the amount of $150,000. So that's super awesome. Shirley Hines, who we partner with in lots of things here in town, was awarded Fish and Wildlife Foundation grant of $346,000 for work at the Lindy Dam and getting access to the water for the kayaks and all of that, and that's super awesome for our town. So lots of good things happening for the town. That's all I have for RDC. Do you have anything with your update?
I think it's the same. They're updating their training. They want everybody to participate next year. And it was just a brief summary that Jim sent out.
Okay. Correspondence.
Item notice of approval Title V minor source modification for Ozinga Cement Inc. Contractor approved with Cliffs LLC. Item notice of approval at the SOP of administrative amendment for the Courts of Indiana. Item notice of approval at the SOP significant permit revision for Urshel Laboratories Inc. And item notice of approval Title V significant permit modification for Ozinga Cement Inc. Contractor of Cleveland Cliffs.
I need to find a new reader. Look at those two.
My brain didn't do that, so.
Chuck, we'll do better. From the podium. Just kidding.
No.
Let's say.
Presentations of resolutions. Ordinance 320-2023, an ordinance of the Burns Harbor Town Council amending the text of the administrative ordinance. Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call please.
Councilman Levy,
Yes.
Councilwoman Scott,
Yes.
Councilwoman Biancardi.
Yes.
Councilwoman Bozak.
Yes.
Councilwoman McCarthy.
Yes. Resolution 2024 salary and wages for the town of Burns Harbor, Porter County, Indiana. Motion to accept.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call please.
Councilwoman Scott.
Yes.
Councilwoman Biancardi.
Yes.
Councilwoman Bozak.
Yes.
Councilman Levy,
Yes.
Councilwoman McCarthy.
Abstain.
Yeah, you're awesome.
Resolution 2023-24, a resolution to approve and authorize an interfund loan from the rainy day fund, the county's Sitley grant fund and county DUITF grant fund, whereas due to reimbursement disbursements practices of county CITFI and county DUITF grants, borrowed funds are needed to provide additional police patrol in the community. And whereas at the direction of the town council, the town of Burns Harbor, Indiana, the rainy day fund, Fund 2236, has sufficient money on deposit to loan the county CITLI grant fund, Fund 2401, a total of $2,000
into the county DUITF grant fund, fund 2.0 to a total of $1,000. And whereas Indiana State Code allows for interfund loan repayment to be extended from December 31st to June 30th. If declared an emergency by the town council, and now therefore be it resolved by the town council hereby approves an interfund loan from the rainy day fund to the county CITLI grant fund in the amount of $2,000 and the county DUITF grant fund in the amount of $1,000, which shall be repaid upon receipt of the county's grant fund distributions or be repaid no later than June 30th, 2023. Motion to adopt.
That should say 20.
Yeah.
It should say 24, I'm sorry.
Repaid no later than June 30th, 2024. Motion to adopt. Sorry. Discussions? Roll call please.
Councilman Dean Carnegie? Yes. Councilman Bozak? Yes. Councilman Loving? Councilman Loving?
Yes.
Councilwoman Scott? Yes. Councilwoman Carr?
Abstain. Resolution 2023-25, a resolution to approve and authorize an interfund loan from the rainy day funds to the Emergency Medical Services Fund. Whereas due to collection practices of emergency medical services, borrowed funds are needed, and whereas at the direction of the town council, the town of Burns Harbor, Indiana, the rainy day fund, Fund 2236, has sufficient money on deposit to loan to the Emergency Medical Services Fund, Fund 2215, a total of $10,970.78, and whereas Indiana State Code allows for interfund loan repayment to be extended from December 31st to June 30th if declared an emergency by the town council, and now therefore be it resolved that the town council hereby approves an interfund loan from the rainy day fund to the Emergency Medical Services Fund in the amount of $10,972.78, which shall be repaid upon receipt of the customer payments or be repaid no later than June 30th, 2023. Motion to adopt.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call please.
Councilwoman Bozak?
Yes.
Councilman Loving?
Yes.
Councilwoman Scott?
Yes.
Councilman Dean Carnegie? Yes. Councilwoman Carr?
Yes. Resolution 2023-26, 2024 salary and wages, Town of Burns Harbor Park Department. Motion to adopt.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Councilman Loving?
Yeah.
Councilwoman Scott?
Yes.
Councilman Dean Carnegie?
Yes.
Councilwoman Bozak?
Yes.
Councilwoman Carr?
Yes. All right, new business. We have one staff anniversary. Jordan Chavez is just has 1 year, right? Or
Almost.
soon, almost.
December 27th.
December 2023 property tax distribution.
We received notice, the town received notice today that we should have our deposit on Friday for the property taxes for December. If we collect what the county auditor's Form 22 stated, we'll have collected 101.82%. Some of that could be delinquencies from a previous year. I don't get a breakdown of that just yet. If it's not delinquencies, the state will send us a letter telling us we have to move some of it into a levy excess fund, and we'll have to sit on it for a year before we can use it. And then they'll have us move it back. But hopefully it's all good to go and we got what we were asking.
State approval for of 2024 budget.
We received the form, the 1782 notice, which is basically the state giving us approval of the budget. There were no recommended changes to the budget you as a council submitted back in November. The budget, as I said, was approved because the assessed value has dropped. Our tax rate went up over 5 cents per hundred. Our assessed value dropped by $48,642,892, which is helping cause that tax rate to go up to 45 cents per hundred. You have any? I'll try to answer. That's all.
All right, nepotism certification for 2023.
Everybody signed.
Yes.
So this is state required that you each every year sign that there was no nepotism as far as contracts were negotiated, correct, Clay? And that you hired no one in direct line of supervision that was related to you, and everyone has signed it. I'll leave copies in your mailboxes and keep them on file here at town hall for when we're audited.
Okay. Board member stipend. Bob and Brad, would like to decline their board annual stipend, and the town has got that in writing from them.
Correct. And it's just to put in the minutes. I don't think anyone needs to really make a motion. They did put it in writing and then we'll put it in the minutes so that we have documentation as to why I didn't send them a check. And as it relates to the salary ordinance.
Clerk treasurer's 2024 bond.
So
Make a motion to have Jennifer sign the bond when it arrives.
Second. Discussion?
just call it, that it's for 240.
And then they contacted me to ask what it should be at. As you can see in the notes, it's 30,000 for every million in receipts. I believe that's an accurate number, 240. And so that's what they prepared it for. They said it will be here shortly and it needs to be recorded as soon as I get it, and it's been signed by Jen. So I appreciate that you take care of that. Okay.
Of course. All right. Roll call please, yes.
Councilwoman Scott,
Yes.
Councilwoman Biancardi,
Yes.
Councilwoman Bozak,
Yes.
Councilman Loving,
Yes,
Councilwoman McCart.
Yes. All right. 2024 insurance renewal terms. Do you?
You want me to talk about that too?
Yeah.
It's a lot. So we have the health insurance policy proposals. They are not, the insurance company that we use, Anthem, has the same policy for 24 as they did in 23. There was an increase of 10.78%. There are other options that are less expensive, but that would require, if the council were to move in that direction, those would require more out of pocket to the employee. And it's, of course, that is up to the council to make that decision, but if you remain on the same policy, it will increase by 10.78%. The work comp insurance numbers came in, they are due by January 1st. As you recall, we're on a high risk policy, and so we have to meet that January 1st deadline and have to pay it all up front. That's $52,176. And then the remaining policies are still not here for me to, the auto, the liability and all of that. As soon as I receive those, I will share any changes in those, but I just don't have those just yet.
Okay. So do we need an approval for this renewal of the health insurance, or?
Consensus, if you do want to change it, I defer to Clay, would you want him to have it in a motion if they want to change the actual plan? I believe I scanned those options and sent them to you guys via email, so you could review them and make those decisions.
If you're gonna change, I would make a motion.
Or we need?
No, we ever circle back, we looked out and looked over there.
it increases the out of pocket to the employees.
My only concern was the amount that's going up and the raise that you've given employees. So I was.
10% is pretty standard every year, isn't it though, Jane? About a 10% increase every year,
And hope for better.
and hope for better, but
Right.
I mean, really.
That's usually what
Yeah.
they tell us, because we're preparing the budget in the summer and we don't have the numbers until December.
And is as far as the health insurance, that has to be decided on today? If
It
that's,
takes effect January 1st,
Yeah.
so,
What about the amount that the town covers for employees? Does that have to be decided today?
they're going,
Would that be
the
with the council?
employees are gonna get paid the first paycheck, the next paycheck. The first paycheck in January, I believe is like the second. So if you make changes to it, which you're welcome to do, or if you wanna wait till the next council, there might be that. It may not be effective the first pay period.
Want to circle back in January?
I don't know, I think we'll maybe look at what the changes would be, and what the town kind of if that changes.
Want to do that? Yep. If we don't, if we're keeping the same strict, we don't need a motion.
A consensus, I think, would be fine.
Okay.
Clay.
Yeah, that's good.
Would you like me to put it on January's agenda so you can talk about
Yes,
the percentage?
Yes.
Okay.
Tax refund exchange and compliance systems trust program.
Looks like Jane and Jill have been working with.
And Clay has reviewed the memorandum of understanding. This is a program that used to be available to only to the county. What they do is if somebody were to owe the county monies, they could work with this program to garnish people's state income tax returns. It's been opened up to towns for municipalities. And so if we sign a memorandum of understanding, I've had Clay review it, I sent it to the council. That starts the process with the state to participate in that program this year. To possibly garnish anybody who's expecting a state tax return or any delinquencies owed to the town. So if the council is interested in moving in that direction, we probably need to sign it now because the first set of data that would need to be uploaded to the state would be the first week of January.
You need a motion for that?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to sign up for that. Is that enough motion?
And allow Jennifer to sign it.
And allow Jennifer to sign it.
Clay, do you think that's enough, sufficient? Okay.
Isn't there a second?
Second.
I thought Tony did it, sorry.
Oh, I didn't hear her. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Biancardi?
Yes.
Councilwoman Bozak?
Yes.
Councilman Loving?
Yes.
Councilwoman Scott?
Yes.
Councilwoman McCart?
Yes. We are in need of an ADA coordinator. Tony needs to be replaced. Unless she wants to volunteer her time, maybe. It has to be a council member, yeah.
And it's something to think about.
Okay.
I'm just putting it on your radar because
Okay.
she's still here till.
Jane's
31st.
helpful. She keeps a spreadsheet of all of the things that we spend money on each year, make sure that money's budgeted, so there's a quarterly plan. With working with departments to identify needs. Last year, I think not many departments had needs, and so Brandon's department repainted all of the handicap parking spots and signage and all of that. And the money we set aside paid for the funds to do that, so. Just those kinds of things, and I don't know if they've got the piece for the perk yet, but that was supposed to be set in the
I think
trail.
they did that, right? They
It's
did the-
okay, I know what last time, yeah, so those kinds of things, just, making sure we're up to code, I guess.
So we'll need that from the next council. We'll also need a Title VI coordinator, because again, Tony will need to be replaced.
What does that do?
So, unless there's a complaint that needs to be investigated, really, you're just the.
A complaint in regard to,
A discrimination complaint.
Okay.
We had one, and it's a little, it is a little time intensive. And, but the good thing is, over the course of having to have this, Corinne was great in setting up, but there literally on our webpage, there is a do this, and have all of this. So timeline and everything, so it's not like you have to worry about that, it's just, you know. Getting all the information you need from all parties.
And then we will have to, find an MS4 coordinator. And approval of November 2023 financial report.
So moved.
Second, discussion? Roll call please.
Councilwoman Bozak,
Yes.
Councilman Loving,
Yes.
Councilwoman Scott,
Yes.
Councilwoman Biancardi,
Yes.
Councilwoman McCart.
Yes. Approval to pay vouchers with 3 or more signatures.
So moved.
Second, discussion? Roll call please.
Councilman Loving,
Yes.
Councilwoman Scott,
Yes.
Councilwoman Biancardi,
Yes.
Councilwoman Bozak,
Yes.
Councilwoman McCart.
Abstain. Approval of purchase orders submitted with 3 or more signatures.
Second.
Discussion, roll call please.
Anyone will correct the motions?
Councilwoman Scott,
Yes.
Councilwoman Biancardi,
Yes.
Councilwoman Bozak,
Yes.
Councilman Loving,
Yes.
Councilwoman McCart.
Abstain. Old business. The town complex generator status. An update.
I included the council. For the last meeting, they responded to me that the equipment was in. Keith, can you please provide the town an update? Never got that update. It reached out to them again 2 days ago. In hopes of having something for the council meeting, and I've not heard from them. On when the stuff's going to be installed, so I'll continue to reach out and make sure the council is included in that email. Reach out again, see if I get a reply.
Circle R.
Yeah,
Yeah. They were issued a building permit in September.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Yeah. 90 days, so we're almost at,
Coming up.
they're almost at their 90-day mark.
as well.
They'll have to get a new permit.
How much a crazy escrow?
As long as they started.
Okay.
Sounds like you go there, Dick.
Or
I was gonna
can they, once they start, will they have to?
As long as they started, we'll be able to finish it.
Okay. Right, so they have
That may be the switch form.
a week to start it. Yeah.
I've seen
Right.
it for us, right?
Call like crazy after.
We don't need any help. You call, I'll call. I got all these different phone lines at work. We'll call from all these different numbers. We'll get them on phone.
Good of the order. I'm gonna go first. I'd like to thank Nick, Andy, and Tony for guiding our town. For, I don't know, how many years? How long everybody, I don't know.
Maybe longer than all of us, but
Right, and hopefully Roseanne, myself and Jack and Kurt and Lisa can take over or handle it for the next 4 years. We'll see.
Yes, thank you guys for your time and effort and everything else you've given to the town. I hope we don't disappear. Cause you know, we still need you places.
Okay, I pass the town hall every day, like, at least twice a
Day.
day.
So my audience.
I get away.
yeah, I guess I would just like to note the contribution of Eric Hall to the board. Hopefully he's enjoying his time in Arizona.
Yes.
I do, I know he does, but he was a big part of the council, so I just wanted to note his contribution. The 4 of you and Clay and Jane, it's been an absolute pleasure serving with all of you. And then I wish my friend Ray would have been here the whole time, so. That's it.
You go, but then I will be back on the agenda.
I would join in that, it's been a pleasure working with Angie and Nick and Tony, and I've been the town attorney for the last 8.5 years, and for 8 of those. This young lady sat next to me, I don't know who's gonna draw the short straw that comes from anyway. With that, I know there's been some discussion, but just I guess for the record, I think December 28th, Thursday.
Yes.
at 5 o'clock, swearing in for the 5 council members and the clerk treasurer, and I think Jane is working on finding someone who can officiate. She can for the 5 council members, but if we can't find anybody as clerk treasurer and as a notary, I could swear in any of you if I show up. I'm busy recording the deed.
Well, they close early that day, so.
They do.
You'll be here.
Every day.
And then starting every day.
I'm fine, I mentioned in the email, if you wanna push my 2024 contract to the January. Go ahead.
Sorry, MS4, I just wanna leave this meeting. Do we have a coordinator right now?
Bill,
Okay, and what do you have to be the MS4 coordinator?
What I sent, when I had the council recommended that they set these guys to.
Okay.
Him and Adam are both certified.
Okay, so we will be officially MS4 designated next year. We do not want to be without a coordinator. So if we don't have one right now, we need one.
Are you making a motion?
I'm making a motion that Brandon be named the MS4 coordinator. Not that it needs to be permanent, but we need a name,
Yeah.
we need a designee, and we can't mess around with that.
Correct.
So that's my motion.
I second.
He's the man. Are you?
does he get a chance to say no or no?
Or no?
Me and Adam both took tests, it's like,
Okay.
we both don't know a lot, it's an entire.
And that's
learning
okay.
curve.
And that's okay, and I feel like the organizations are very helpful, it's just that with that designation, we don't want to like lapse and not have someone. That's what,
Discussion,
yeah.
anything else, roll call, right?
Councilwoman Biancardi,
Yeah.
Councilwoman Bozak,
Yes.
Councilman Loving,
Yes.
Councilwoman Scott,
Yes.
Councilwoman Starr.
Yeah.
No,
I
Unanimous, you got all the votes. Yeah, you.
I have one more announcement. I would like to extend an invitation to our swearing in ceremony to Tony. Nick and Angie, you guys like to come?
swear at
you. Out gold, I don't know. Maybe come here and celebrate with us, I guess, I don't know.
I do have one other thing. Jane, do you wanna talk about the?
We received a sealed bid for the ambulance. It appears based on the address that it came from the same place that bid last time at a low bid that you guys chose not to accept. And so I did not put it on the agenda, but it came in, I think Monday. I think it's stamped Monday, right? On the other side, Clay, I think I just put it on the other side.
It's number 11.
And so I wasn't sure if you guys would want to open this. I did not re-advertise it based on Clay's suggestion or discussion that his thoughts were maybe because it's the end of the year, people aren't willing to commit to a buying a large ticket item this late in the year in a local election year. You're well, you know, whatever you guys decide to do, if you want to open it, see if it's what you want to take or if you want to reuse it.
tonight without opening them.
It's been advertised continuously on our website, so that's probably where.
So it is legal if we wanna accept this, but and just to remind everybody, what was it, 13,333? Is that what, if you have, Jane had?
Do I still have it clear? Did I?
It was, if you still have it, like.
He looked at it, I apologize, but it's in his. It's in the minutes. I remember if I told you.
Remind everybody, I wanna save this.
It was 13,333, you're right, Clay. Last time, but the address is the same, so I think it's the same.
Oh my gosh. You need to open it.
What if it's the same amount?
Report.
Commercial Bus and Vehicles LLC out of South Lyon, Michigan. It on the 2015 Ford F-550 ambulance, $21,033, 21,033.00.
Well, 13,000 Bill was aggressively shaking his head no, and it was.
He just, yeah, it's just on hand, so.
I see, like I told you guys, I've seen from 30,000, all the way up to 40 for that, you know. It's like the last meeting. Really don't want to, so if you wanna wait and do it, if you want the 20,000, like. Get rid of it now, it's up to you, it ain't hurting nothing sitting there, I will tell you that, I mean, you still gotta take the radio and stuff out of it, you know, got that done.
Make a motion to reject that bid.
Second. Discussion? Roll call?
Councilwoman Bozak,
Yes.
Councilman Loving,
Yes.
Councilwoman Scott.
Yes.
Councilwoman Biancardi.
Yes.
Councilwoman McCart.
Yes.
Motion to adjourn. I was like, I know Andrew wants to be able to make that last motion.
Second. Discussion. Roll call, please.
There's cake.
There's cake. There's cake.
And Jen didn't say anything. I think she wanted to keep it.
I know.
For herself.
I'm taking the.
And cookies.
Oh, I got those.
Those are the on them. It's a to Jen from Clay. Yeah. Roll call.
Councilwoman Scott,
Yes.
Councilwoman Biancardi.
Yes.
Councilwoman Bozak,
Yes.
Councilman Loving,
Nope.
Councilwoman McCart.
No.